just dropped my camera again, oh no. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hi, my name's Beth. This is like the 50th time I've tried to film this video because either my camera was dying, the memory card was full, so it's a new day and I'm gonna try and get it done this time. So at the end of last year I said to you guys, have you got any questions or anything you wanted to know about me, and you sent in some questions, and that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be answering your questions, so enjoy. How old are you and how long have you been riding for? So I'm 27 and I've been riding for about 22 years, about that. Quite a while. So I started off doing like the usual kid stuff. So I started off doing like tap, ballet, gym, and then a bit of football and ice skating. And I remember when I was ice skating, there was a stables next to the ice rink and my mum was like, do you want to go and look at the horses? And it all went on from there really. And funny story about, well, maybe I shouldn't say this, but don't judge me. When I used to do, I think it was ballet, people had like these beautiful sequined dresses and leotards and stuff, and because I had no interest in dance, which I still don't, you know, I can't dance, but there were sequins on the floor, and to keep them safe I used to pick them up, put them in my mouth and swallow them so no one else could have them. So that explains a lot about me really, and that's still, you know, to this day a thing. Like I love shiny things. Thankfully I don't digest them anymore. Okay, so the first question is, Equestrian said, what's your main aim when working with a young horse? So my main aim with any horse would be just to gain confidence and trust in each other. So, you know, do a lot of groundwork, spend a lot of time doing groundwork. It's so important. And with Niffy in particular, I spent a lot of time sort of desensitizing him to little things, so like stuff around the yard, the like the farm machinery, the spooky school, stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time just sort of aimlessly meandering around just to desensitize him, just so it just became like a normal thing. So without going into like an hour-long video, I would say main aim is to build trust and confidence with one another. ECB Eventing said, do you have a job apart from horses, and do you have any advice on growing your Instagram account / social media? Yeah, I work for the NHS currently, and I'm hoping to go into a more sort of specialist field. So yeah, at the moment I'm doing that, and then sometimes here and there I do like a weekend at the yard just to help pay with my livery bills. And on growing your Instagram account, I would say the most important things are timing of your posts. So, you know, always think about what time you're posting. If you're in England, then maybe think, okay, the people get off or finish work or school at this sort of time. This is a good time to post because people are going to be on their phone. And also always like interact with other people on Instagram. So like always leave a comment on someone's photo, and also I would say use appropriate hashtags because it does expose your account to people that might have similar interests as you that might not necessarily have found your account otherwise. So I hope that helps. If you want any more, like a more detailed video on that, I'm happy to do it, but in all honesty I'm probably not the best person to ask about social media. So what did you study at uni and how did you look after your horses? So I studied forensic psychology at uni, so I had to do like a foundation course of maths and biology and I think chemistry, because my A-levels were totally separate. So my A-levels I did photography and media, because at the time I was a photographer, so that seemed like the appropriate thing to do. But then obviously when it came to me wanting to change that and go into uni, I had to do a year of pure maths and science in order to get onto my psychology degree. But yeah, I did psychology, and I think at the time they were on DIY livery, I think. I stayed at home for uni. I didn't have to move out or anything, so my uni was literally like 3 or 4 train stops away from home, so I was lucky in the sense that I wasn't gone for weeks on end. I still lived at home so I could go and see the horses when I could. Casper the Dales said, where is this rug from? It's so nice. Hi Evie. I think I got it from, I think it was Ingatestone or online. I'll leave a link to it if I can find it. I think it was his first rug actually. I don't know if it's going to fit him anymore because he's grown so much. Becca_Muge, I hope I'm saying that right, said, any tips on introducing young horses to shows if you don't have transport for group clinics, etc. to go to first? So with George, I was quite lucky because I had George and Aragon, so I used to take them both together, which now I definitely wouldn't do because they would spend the whole time calling and just playing up to each other. With Niffy, I would take him to like a few quieter places to start off with. So I would say, you know, have a look around, see if you can find anywhere like really nice and quiet and calm, not massive long classes where you're waiting around all day. And you know, before you go and scope it out, just to make sure that it's somewhere that you know that you think would work with you and your horse, so somewhere like quite quiet. And I mean, with going to like clinics and stuff, like sometimes they do like quite cool clinics, like big group clinics. So I did one with Ben Hobday and I did one with Harry Mead, and that was like the best thing I ever did, and that was when George was quite young, I think, for the first one. And that helped. So I would say just be selective about the things that you see that you want to do. Like, you don't have to go to every single clinic ever, but if you see something and you're like, oh my god, I want to do that, do it. And I mean, maybe see if you've got like a friend that you could go with or someone, you know, so then there's company for your horse. And it, you know, I find going with someone else sometimes relaxes me a bit too. And as well, it will share the cost of the transport. If you have to hire a lorry for the day or a trailer, having someone to go with will cut the cost. So I hope that helps. And I know you asked that a while ago, so if you haven't gone yet, if you need anything, give me a shout. If you have gone, hope it went well, let me know how it went. Jumping Dinosaur says, what equestrian products could you not live without for yourself and for your horses? For myself, I would say thick socks. So, and it's not even like an equestrian product, but it's stuff that I buy specifically for the stables. So like the Primark slipper socks, you know, like the really fluffy ones, like the fluffy socks, those, buy loads, honestly, they are amazing. I wear them under everything. So the Primark slipper socks and the Primark, I think they're like just called thick leggings, but they're not like leggings, they feel like tights. They're amazing for winter, like I wear them under everything. So yeah, that's not really like a specific equestrian product, but I buy it specifically for, you know, going down the stables. The horses, I would say the horses couldn't live without their Jolly, I think it's Jolly Ball. Yeah, those, they really like those. They like bashing each other around the head with them. So I would say, yeah, for them it's definitely their Jolly Balls and bashing each other around the head with those. So yeah. So Eventing Sambuca said, what are your plans for Niffy and George next year and just in general? So Niffy, I would love to get Niffy out to like maybe a tiny little quiet local show, like a dressage or something, and see how that goes. He's still not broken at the moment, so I'm just thinking quite far in advance. George, I would like to get George to like a few arena eventing competitions. He loves that. He loves that. He hates dressage. Like, I know people are like, you know, a horse can't hate something. He really dislikes dressage. He doesn't get the whole calm and collected and controlled thing. Like, he's honestly so happy when he's just belting around, and if that's what he wants to do, I'll let him do it, because he's done so much for me. And obviously there were times that we didn't even know that he was still gonna be here. So yeah, I wanna just like let him have a bit of fun. So yeah, do that with George, and then maybe get Aragorn out and do some prelims and novices, because at one point I was at novices and then I lost my confidence and I didn't ride him for like, maybe 2 years. So yeah, I would love to get back out and do a little bit more on Aragorn too. Saf Scarlett said, what advice would you give to a rider who's had her confidence knocked by an accident? So I would say I could do a whole video on this, because it's something that I feel really strongly about, because I can relate to it a lot. So my confidence wasn't knocked through an accident as such, but it was like a PTSD from something different that I then associated with riding, and riding Aragorn in particular. And I think that the way that I dealt with it is similar to how you would deal with a confidence knock, because I had the same thing. Like, I booked a lesson, I thought, you know, I'm going to do it. I haven't ridden this horse for a year and I really want to get back into it. And I remember waking up in the morning and I just threw up. I was so anxious and overthinking it. I didn't sleep the whole night and I threw up. And how did I get over that? So I did what was right for me. I did little and often. I surrounded myself with people that, you know, didn't think I was stupid or didn't think it was like pathetic, that didn't make me feel like that. For doing what I felt like I needed to do to get my confidence back, and that was just taking it slowly, little and often, and just getting my confidence back in myself before I could then ask my horse to have confidence in me. So I would never push him to do anything. And he's a very, I know all horses are perceptive, but he is so perceptive. If I got on him in a bad mood, he would pick up on that and play on it. So I would always have to just have my head in the game and keep focused. So I mean, I'm happy, like, again, I'm happy to do like another in-depth like video on this, because it's something that I feel strongly about, and I feel like we do this as a hobby, and it's something we're meant to enjoy, and it's so hard when your pleasure is taken out of something because you don't have confidence, because you're actually scared. And it's not, you're not weak for admitting that you're scared or that you're struggling at all. And a lot of people are made to feel like that, and you know, enough's enough. So I would say, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm happy to do a video on that, because it's something that I do feel very strongly about. So yeah, maybe keep tuned. If you need anything, give me a message and I'll do my best to like maybe elaborate a bit more, give you my number or whatever. So yeah, just let me know. So Flash the Super Cob said, what's your proudest moment with your horses? I can't even speak. What's your proudest moment with your horses? With George, I think every moment with him, I just feel like so proud of him. Like he's awesome. I've never ever known a horse like him. Like he'll just give his all into everything. So I would say, yeah, definitely that. So like, I think maybe the Hickstead, when he won the Hickstead Arena eventing, that was definitely a highlight, just because we weren't going there expecting to even get round in one piece. We went there for experience for him. I thought he was going to go in and just freak out at the atmosphere, but he's just awesome. I could talk about him all day. And I'd also say getting Aragorn to Hickstead was one of my proudest moments, because he, after not going out and competing for like 3 years and not being ridden solidly for like that amount of time as well, he acted like a saint, and it's getting me a bit funny just thinking about it. Like I owe him the world. Like he's a really sweet horse, and I don't give him credit enough. So I'd say that. And Niffy, Niffy, I'm just proud of Niffy being Niffy. He's awesome. But that Aragorn thing's really hit me now, so give me a minute and I'll be back. So AMG.showjumping said, what are your favourite go-to brands for horse and rider? So if you were to give me like £1,000 and said, right, you can go and spend this on whatever you want, the brands I would always go to and have done for a while would be De Niro boots, Tech stirrups. I love the Lemure jumping pads. So like the high withered forward cut ones, they're really good. I love Olco, I love their sweatshirts and stuff. Philistine, I love her, she's amazing, and her designs are just a bit of me. Same with the Voluntar stuff, so if I could design anything, it'd probably be that. Eclat, obviously Eclat, for like their glittery awesomeness and just everything on there. So like, I love their hats, I live in the beanies. What else? So Sam Shield as well. I like Sam Shield stuff. It's a little bit pricier, but the quality is amazing. And I also really like Horses of Helsinki. Pink greatness, love it all. And I've seen some of their new stuff that's coming out, and it's lovely. Like, I love it. But yeah, in terms of the horsey stuff, I stick to like what I know and what I like. So I would say the Lemure like jump pads, and the equestrian ones are great as well. And for like tendon boots, I think I like, what are the ones I usually use? I don't know if they're Horse or Escadron. I'll find out and I'll leave it linked below. But yeah, I use the same stuff pretty much. The Lemure, the wrap boots are really great as well. So yeah, I would say maybe that. I mean, if there's anything in particular we're looking for, just give me a shout and I will do my best to help you find it. So Laura Fidderman said, tips on keeping a positive mindset. So this to me links in with the whole like confidence thing, and you know, I want to do a video on that. It's going to be a long one, because it's something that I'm really passionate about. Keeping a positive mindset. So I would say positivity, success and happiness is all defined by what you perceive it to be. So some people, happiness might be like having a lovely house with a dog and kids running around. So I would find what you feel makes you positive, like makes you feel positive. So like, I find it good to write things down, and I keep it like, to start off with, I'd keep it like minimal and easy. Like, not easy as in like, oh, I can do that, whatever, but you need to feel like you've accomplished something. So don't go in too hard too soon and too fast and all of that. So I'd say maybe like 3 things a day that you want to achieve or do, and try and, you know, see how that goes for a while and then increase it. But keeping positive, I mean, it's easier said than done, and I would say the best thing that I ever did was cut out the negativity in my life. So cutting out the people that made me feel like shit, that drained me, that made me feel like I wasn't good enough. That made such a difference to my life, and I know initially when I did it I felt really lonely and I felt quite scared, but now I'm so much happier for it, and it's so much easier to be positive when you haven't got people that are constantly like chipping away at you and making you feel crap. So I would say definitely that, and find people that make you feel good. You know, that you might not be able to see them all the time, you might not be able to talk to them all the time, but surrounding yourself with positive people and people that want to do good and do well just at life, that makes it easier for you to be positive and to keep a positive mindset, definitely. But I will go like more in depth in this because I could talk about this for hours. Okay, someone has said, what do you use to take your photos on? So I use a mixture of things. I use my iPhone on portrait mode, sometimes on portrait mode, like it depends what you're taking a picture of. Sometimes it can make really beautiful black pictures, other times it's just like got random blurry bits here, there and everywhere, and it's quite hard to make it look nice. And I use what I'm filming on at the minute, which is a Canon G7X, I think it's the Mark II one. And a Canon 50D, I think it is. I used to have a 450D, so I get on quite well with the Canon brand, because that's what I sort of, when I used to do photography, that's what I used, so I sort of know my way around them a little bit. But yeah, I would say you can get nice pictures on anything. Like honestly, some of the best pictures I've taken are on my phone. It's just about sort of finding a nice background and just sort of being creative with it, so like thinking outside the box. Megancock.sj said, what made you start this account and did you expect it to get so big? I started this account because my friend, and I remember who it was as well, said like, oh, I'm just getting bored, all you do is like post pictures of your horses, why don't you just make another like Instagram account or something? So I did, and that was the end of that really. Did I expect it to get this big? No. When I first started it, I had like a completely different sort of like I had a load of different followers, so it was like a lot younger, because I'd be quite vocal in my anti-bullying and positive mind sort of thing, and sort of like after a while I thought, you know, I still enjoy talking about that and I'm very much an advocate for that. But I would also say then I like got into more like doing sort of arty, sort of editorial looking photos, and that sort of, you know, attracted different people that might not have previously been interested in what I was doing. So yeah, I would say didn't expect it to happen. Very grateful, met some of the best people on my Instagram that literally, they don't know how much they do for me. So thank you so much to the lovely people that I've met on Instagram. You're amazing. What breed is your grey horse? I don't know what grey horse you're referring to because I have 3. So Bentley is a KWPN, George is a Connemara, Niffy is a Connemara with a little sprinkle of Irish sport, Aragon's Irish sport and Ed's Irish sport. So you can see a bit of a theme going on here, and then Bentley's just the odd one out, but Bentley's always the odd one out, Bentley's just something else. But yeah, pretty much all Irish. Connemara's have got the nicest temperament ever. They're just like overgrown ponies, and Niffy is definitely that, an overgrown pony, but not finished growing overgrown pony yet, so maybe, you know, verging on 16 hands very soon. Meg's Equestrian said, can I come and ride the ponies please? And what are your future plans with the horses? Of course you can come and ride my ponies whenever you want. I would recommend George, he's a sweetheart, he looks after everyone. What are my plans? So similar to sort of thing, I would say like the dressage with Aragon, one day events, maybe a bit of arena eventing with George, and just sort of cracking on with Niffy now. And also I really want to go and see my old boys in Devon, hopefully at the end of this year or the start of next year, because I miss them an awful lot. Daisy.t said, where is your favourite place to compete? Oh, where's my favourite place? So like I initially went to my yard that I'm at the moment and that I have been at for years. I went there to do like a dressage competition, and the atmosphere and everything was so lovely there that I actually have moved there now. So I would say here where I am. I love Codham. Codham have got like a lovely arena beautiful surface, and they've, you know, they make you feel like you're competing at a much higher level than you are. Like the jumps, everything is so well run, like the dressage arenas. So yeah, I love it there. Where else is there? Because a lot of places have closed now. Where else? Kiso, obviously, lovely. Bit further out. Berry Farm, again, like lovely, just quite far out. There was another one, I think it's called the Jays. I really want to go there because I know that they do quite a lot of arena eventing, and Hicksted have now got like a whole like arena dedicated to arena eventing with the jumps up at the minute that you can hire. So I definitely want to check that out at some point, just because I missed out doing the competition this year. So yeah, definitely those. What's your favourite thing to do in your spare time? I don't really feel like I have a lot of spare time. Like sometimes I finish work and I go straight to the yard, and even if I go from work here and then go to the yard, most of the time I just want to come home, have a bath and go to bed. What's your favourite piece of riding equipment? I don't know what you mean by that. I'd say my riding hats, if that counts. I love my riding hats. I have a whole collection of Sam Shields. So you know how most girls are like shoes and bags? I'm like boots and hats. So I love my De Niro boots always, and my Sam Shield hats. How do you deal with people watching you at horse shows? Do you know what? One of my friends always says this as well. Like, she hates anyone watching her ride, even me, or like my mum or anyone. She hates it. And I would say the best thing that you can do is just imagine that no one's there. Easier said than done, I know. So just pretend you've got blinkers on and you can only see forward and where you're going. Like I don't really like people watching me, just because I've had it before where I was going in to do a class and someone quite loudly said to me, "I hope you break your neck." Not in a jokey way, but they actually hoped I broke my neck, which was like, oh. So yeah, you've just got to literally block everyone else out and just feel like it's you and your horse, and that's all that matters, and that's the only thing going on. I just realised that I talk faster than James Charles. Like, I'm just like and because I sound like really Essexy. It's weird actually, I sound really Essexy. A lot of my friends that aren't from Essex are like, "Oh, you sound so Essex." Like my friend in Wales is like, "Oh, you sound like you're from Essex. It's so obvious you're from Essex." But then my friends from Essex are like, "You sound really posh." So sorry if I'm talking fast, and sorry.